need electric vehicles, and then you have a sustainable energy future. And I think it will. The interesting thing people will find is that this is a lower cost way to go as well. That may surprise people. And we're also hopefully looking forward to bringing Starlink to India as well. The Starlink internet, which I think can be incredibly helpful for sort of remote or rural villages where they perhaps either may have no access to internet, or the internet is very expensive and slow. He did. Yes, I'm tentatively planning to visit India again next year. I'm looking forward to it.
Ambassador Garcetti, with Ambassador Ranganathan, with Representative Ro Khanna, and so many friends, including my dear friend Admiral Harry Harris. We had Vivek Lal and others from my board. We are trying to help the U.S. and India develop the strongest possible defense ties for our shared strength and shared deterrence, and frankly shared prosperity of our two countries. This is part of the ISET, the Initiative on Critical and Emerging Technologies. We're very privileged and honored to have helped launch ISET here at the Chamber, and now also launching IndusX here at the Chamber. And it's part of It's our contribution as member companies of USIBC to advance the vision of the United States and India for the state visit. The state visit is the strategic, economic, and technological convergence of the United States and India in ways that are going to be really magnificent and good for all of our people. So I'm really excited about the state visit. I feel like I've worked toward this for much of my professional life, and I think that Prime Minister Modi and President Biden have shown real leadership in bringing our countries to this level and then taking us to a next great level.
Because you mentioned about defense, how robust is the defense relationship between the two countries? What can we expect during the visit? Because we know there are some defense ideals which can be on agenda.
So I think there's some possibility of some major defense deals. I'll let the two governments make the news about that. But I think that that kind of deal making is very important because it enhances the defense ecosystem between the United States and India. With IndusX, we're hoping that we will develop a kind of a startup ecosystem, of an incubator, if you will, that will help American companies make in India, help Indian companies make in India for the world, help the United States and India to become the two greatest defense production countries in the world for our shared deterrence and shared protection and shared security.
So do you also think that during this visit there could be discussions on shifting supply chains from China?
Well, I think that certainly both governments have a very clear degree of convergence on strategic issues in the Indo-Pacific. And we are, of course, Quad partners, and we work together in so many ways to ensure a free and open Indo-Pacific. We recently had our meeting of our Chiefs of Defense Staff of the Quad at Sunnylands in California. And so I think what the United States and India are trying to do is ensure that every country in the Indo-Pacific has full sovereignty and full ambit of choice and opportunity to take care of its people. And so we believe in a rules-based international order. We believe in freedom of navigation and commerce. We believe in peaceful arbitration of disputes. And we believe in having strong defense ties so that your people are safe, our people are safe, our great democracies help ensure the safety and independence of countries all around the world. So let's see what they discuss.
I was sort of following upon Prime Minister's wonderful speech in New Delhi at the Global Buddhist Conference about a month ago, I guess now. And I'm 82 years old, so for me time is very, very quick. And he gave a marvelous speech about how India is not an aggressive country, defends itself, of course, but it's really a country of ahimsa and peace. But nonviolence doesn't just mean let the bad guys do whatever. It means to defend yourself, but not aggress against them. And he made a speech like that. And I told Prime Minister that my Hindi is very bad, and I'm so sorry. It's because I've always been living, well, I've been to India so many times, but I'm always with Tibetans, so I end up speaking Tibetan. And then Indian people all speak English, so then I don't get to learn. I do know Sanskrit, and I love Sanskrit, totally. It's a great mother language. But don't speak Hindi. But I told the Prime Minister I can tell his eloquence when he speaks in Hindi, even though I don't really know all the words, but I can get his main feeling, and I think that's wonderful.
Right.
And that's so I enjoyed very much. And he asked me if I had heard from anybody anything that he might know. So in a way, he asked, when I was in Delhi and so on. And I only mentioned that I think people in the whole world would be very excited if he made a little more strong statement about the invasion of Ukraine and disapproving of that, unlike Xi Jinping, who is like a big autocrat and has to tell Putin to go ahead. Meanwhile, Russia is really in trouble, And so India has old friendship, and I don't mean some extreme thing, but he might just mention how, invading another country is not really a good idea in some way. And it's against Indian principle, although they remain friends of Russia, something diplomatic like that. And I think that people in India would respect that very much if he spoke up like that. And worldwide, of course, it would be historic that India, in a time like this, which is a very critical time, stood up for the principle, it's what it's known for, which is gentleness, ahimsa, and not to mention Mother Goddess,
Having said that, how do you see democracy as a force for good and power of India?
Well, the thing about democracy is, as I mentioned also, that